Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Hockenheim Ring. This is GP1 SF1 Sunday Night Racing for the last time at this German Grand Prix for the foreseeable future with F1 2019. Here you guys have Q3 on the cards. Here we are live, waiting for these guys to set their outlap. A lot of guys are on their outlap, actually. But you can hear me. I am SF1 Roads in the comms booth this evening by myself, as SF1 Tom has decided to jump in and help out the Red Bull team this evening. A couple guys that are actually going to be, that's kind of close for comfort in qualifying, but a couple of these drivers this evening have a couple of reserves in for their team to help them push the points in the combine. I'm going to run down through. A couple guys are on their way out. You can see it right now. Looks like Tomo's pulled over to let a few guys through. He's going to let the entire pack through just so he can get a clear track and a good run. Everybody's going to be on the socks for this, so we're going to look to see who can set a good benchmark lap, maybe who can challenge for pole on their first lap. But typically, the German Grand Prix, 34 laps these drivers will have to contend to, and it's typically one-stop territory. You can get away with a two-stop if you're quick enough on those tires, but most of these drivers are going to look to go from the medium compound to a hard compound, pitting around between lap 12 to lap 16. So let's see, a lot of these guys that made it in through on Q2 were on the medium compounds. But who is going to be the first one to set their lap? It looks like there's teammate Absolute. It looks like we're actually going to jump down to Enzo, who's on a lap. What about Benny? Benny's on an out lap, and Attic is on an out lap. So Enzo right now currently leading the pack in this qualifying session to set the first benchmark lap. We were seeing a couple low 111s. We saw 110 by the man himself, DRS Anton. Can he get himself a pole position this evening? Little off the pace. As you can see, Enzo just invalidated his lap, so this is at Coco just behind. No, that is Anton who's just behind. Sets a purple sector too. So we're going to see if he can control this race, grab himself a pole position. He was a little off the pace on the medium compound. Finished the session in Q2 around lap, I think it was like lap, or not, he finished it around position 4th or 5th. Croce in the chat saying Stig for the win, and Hubs in second. So there you go. VSR Anton sets a 110.7 on those soft compounds. Harrison follows up 111.1. Coco 111.6. A good showing so far from that Ferrari duo. Absolute 112. Backs off the track to let the guys behind him have space. Maruzzi goes to 111.8. Who will be next? It looks like it's going to be one of the Renaults. It's going to be Benny who's going to cross the line just before his teammate. Good to see RL Attic back in this pack this evening. Here comes Benny. What kind of time is he going to post? It's going to be a 111.2. Gets himself P3 for his troubles. Let's jump down to his teammate. Let's see what his teammate is running. His teammate had a lot of pace in Q1 and Q2. Can Attic get himself further up? 11.3, so just behind his teammate. A couple of the guys. Speedy goes and invalidates his lap. Invalidates this lap as well. So that's going to be it for the time being, as less Tomo. Tomo is on a flyer. Let's jump with Tomo. Where's Enzo? Enzo's a little further back. He is on an out lap. So Tomo sets a purple sector 2 for this session. So the tire is definitely, or the track is definitely improving. As the time goes on, the rubber lays down. It's a little bit more grippy. There goes Tomo attacking the final few corners. He's going to cross the line and go P2 with the 111 flat. Just 0.3 off of VSR Anton's pole position time currently. A couple of guys jumping in the pits. Looks like Speedy's getting out of the way. Speedy is a GP2 driver hopping in for that Red Bull this evening to get points for his team. So let's see. Enzo is on an out lap. We're going to ride with Enzo, and we'll actually let him take us for a hot lap around this Hockenheim Ring. One of my favorite tracks on this game. I'm going to be so sad to miss it on the 2020 game. But here we are, Enzo lining up to get that speed out of the corner. DRS is open, crosses the line, start his lap. Turn 1 famous, very hard to get wrong, or actually very hard to get right. Second DRS zone. Coming down to the braking, brake just before the 50-meter mark. Around that little hairpin. There's the DRS detection zone. DRS open again. down this backstretch. A lot of overtakes will be happening on this evening. Right around here, into the hairpin you go. You want to brake around the 100-meter mark. Brakes just a little later, you can see. Gets it perfect. Out of the hairpin, easy to get the traction down as much as you can to get that speed away. Down the kink here on the right-hand side and into this braking zone. You can tack a lot of that curve on the left, and it's kind of a switch around where you go back to the right here. Easy not to extend your lap there, because if you do go out a little bit wide, sets a purple sector too as well. Easy on the throttle, coming down to a little bit more of a gradually easy hairpin. Hard part of the track you saw in the real F1 world when it was raining. These guys had a lot of trouble here. It looks like Enzo has no trouble. Gets a little bit of the curve, might get him out of the shape just a bit. Goes a bit wide, crosses the line with a 111.1. Good enough for P3. So there you have it for Enzo. Looks like Harrison's going to give it another go as well. Speedy is on a flyer, so let's ride with Speedy. He has not validated in T1 yet, so he should be on for a good one here. I think a couple of the guys are going to sit in the pits, wait for that time to tick down a little bit more and have one more go at it. Speedy right now, he is dangerously low on fuel, as you guys can see. Can he get himself a good time before his fuel goes? I don't know, it might be pretty close. Coco has started another flyer. Addict is on an out lap as well. Harrison is actually attacking this track on a flying lap right now. Enzo, I think, is going to pull into the pits after this one. It looks like Anton's going to go for another one, trying to improve on his 10.7. Harrison's trying to keep up with him. Who should we jump on? I think Enzo's going to pull it to the pits. How about Speedy? Let's run with Speedy. See if he can get himself a lap stuck in. He's dangerously low on fuel. Can he get this lap in before it runs out? He's actually going to dive for the pits. So he's going to call this one and have another go in just a bit. Anton's actually invalidated this lap, so he's not going to improve. I wonder if he will dive to the pits and just wait for that time to tick down just a bit lower. It does look like he's into the pits. Both Mercedes helping each other out. I think Aruzia is letting a couple guys go through. Good to see Aruzia get himself into Q3 this evening. Harrison goes P2, 10.8, just 1/10 off of the pole setter's time right now with the 10.7 with Anton in that Ferrari. So we're going to see, or we'll possibly see, a Mercedes versus Ferrari this evening, which everybody always enjoys. All right, let's run through. Addict is on a flyer as well. Coco's right there in P7. He's invalidated this lap. All right, Aruzia is on a flyer as well. Let's see if Aruzia can improve from a 111.8, get himself further up this board. He is definitely pushing on hot lap right now. Let's actually ride and give Aruzia just a bit of screen time. He does have, I believe that is Coco just ahead of him on an invalidated lap. So here comes Aruzia into the stadium section. Can he get himself a better lap than a 111.8? I forgot to look at his sector times, but won't be a surprise if he comes across. He's actually backed off, so he's going to give it one more go here. 2 minutes and 35 seconds remain in this session. He's not using any ERS. I wonder if he's just doing laps for a little bit of practice. Ooh, that was close. Here comes Benny. He validated this lap. He's on an out lap, so that doesn't matter. He's going to give it one more go. He's got 2 minutes left, so he will have time in case he messes one of these laps up. Addict on a flyer. Can he improve on 11.3? He is low on fuel as well, but this should be his final go, because he will not have enough time if he pulls into the pits. Sector 2 yellow. It looks like one of the Mercedes has pulled over to let those guys through. Here comes Addict into the stadium section. Can he get himself a better? No, he's going to die for the pits. He's not going to improve, so he's going to stay P6 for this evening. A couple of these guys getting a little argy-bargy. Harrison on his way out. Anton is gearing up to go for one more lap. A couple of these guys left it late, like Coco left it a bit late. Harrison left it just a bit late. I wonder if he's using scrub tires. Sector 3 yellow. Looks like, is that Aruzia again pulling over? It was not Aruzia. I think it was Absolute actually moving out of the way for some of these drivers. So, can Harrison attack? Not to mention that Tomo got a 10.9, so 10.7, 10.9, 10.8. Oh, Enzo's going on a 10.8. So he's put himself up to P2. So it's actually really close between the pole position here. Who might get that final position? Who's going to get a good lap in? It looks like both the Toro Rossos are using each other. Tomo pulls off the pits. Or pulls it off really far, letting Absolute have an absolute toe down that backstretch. Tomo joins the track now, as that is Benny just behind. See if Absolute can get a better lap here. He is low on fuel. He will be the first one, however, to cross the line to finish his qualifying session. He only has 15 seconds left. Can he get a good lap in? 10 seconds remains. Sector 2 yellow. Something has happened. Is that Coco? Coco has pulled off. Here comes Absolute. Goes really wide on that final entry of the corner. He's going to cross the line and stay P7. Attic stays P6. He's in the pits. Who might be next? There's a slew of cars coming. I can't tell whose that is. Both Tomo and them pull into the pits. Harrison there. Rusia stays P9. It looks like there is a bit of argy-barginess going through. Yeah, Enzo's sideways. Don't know if that was with Coco. Anton's invalidated, and now he's doing donuts right in the middle of the track. We'll jump down through with Rusia. I think, no, it's not Rusia, it's Harrison who's on a flyer. Can he improve on his final lap and get himself closer to Anton's time? Crosses the DRS line, goes to 10.8, gets himself P2. Enzo's not going to improve. Anton's not going to improve. I think that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That is your Q3 for the German Grand Prix this evening. So Anton holds on to the pole position, slides the car. A bit of showiness, maybe. But there you guys have it. Anton into the pits. Oi, this is going to be a battle. So once these guys load up into the race, ladies and gentlemen, we'll give you guys the rundown of the championship points so far with this penultimate round of the season going into the French Grand Prix next weekend. That'll be our final round on this game, F1 2019, as we all wait for the F1 2020 game to be released. You guys will see a bunch of announcements on the page if you follow us. Jump on to the Simulation Formula 1 Facebook page if you want to jump in and race with us. Sign up for the next season. The sign-ups are soon to be here. Running down the order, we have DSR Anton, who gets the pole position, followed by Harrison in P2, Enzo P3, Tomo's P4, Benny and Attic. Good showing by the Renault team. P5 and P6, Coco P7, Absolute P8, Rusia P9, and Speedy is in P10. Wonder if Speedy's surprised himself this evening, starting P10 in the GP1 race. He's typically a GP2 race, but we'll find out. Once we load in, I'll give you guys the rundown of what is going on in the championship. I can tell you that there are 6 drivers that are up for the championship. So this is going to be intense. I think some of the shoulders are going to be out. Main talking points to look for. Track penalties this evening are going to be big time. Some of the guys that are running in the championship are going to be looking to push to get themselves a good go at the final round. Since we are still here, I'm going to give you guys a good rundown of the championship points. This is the combined championship points of these GP2 drivers and GP1 drivers. Tally up their points together and get yourself a nice pool for your team. Help support your drivers in a lower division That way you guys keep engaged. But here we are, Toro Rosso leading the way with 748 points. Has not fallen off that top step all season. So they're doing one heck of a job. McLaren in P2, Ferrari P3. Mercedes moved up last week after a good weekend. Red Bull dropped down to 5th. Williams is in 6th. Racing Point and Alfa Romeo jumped up last week, but Renault may be having a good counter this evening. They are in 9th. Haas following suit in P10. All right. The moment everybody always wants to see is the driver championship points. Ed Raisin picks up the lead of the championship after last week's crazy race. Harrison falls to P2, not far behind, just 1 point separates them. Enza right there in P3, Tomo P4, and Anton P5. Hamp, who could not make it this evening, unfortunately, absolute. But the top 5 guys, as you guys can see, all battling, have a shot at this championship. Benny P8, Shuf, who could not make it this evening. Dinner is in P10. Also Stick P11 made his way up a little bit last week. Not y'all, who hasn't made a race recently. He has Whippy Winner in as a reserve this evening. Coco right there in P13. Brutagoat P14. Attic finally makes himself back into this grid this evening. P15. Woo P16. Croce P17. Exia P18. Hubd has reserved for him again this evening. And Eco Sparks, the brand new Williams driver after last week's race, he is in 19th. K Badman is in 20th. So these drivers will have a 5-minute complimentary break. It is 29 on the mark, so probably be good to go around, I would say, the 32 mark. So until then, I'm going to give my voice just a bit of a breather because I'm by myself in the comms booth. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, stay aboard. Make sure you watch this race because it is going to be intense. I'll be right there calling all the action with you in just a moment's time. But until then, get ready, get yourself a drink, get up stretched, get over where you have to get because we're about to go live and this is going to be one heck of a battle. These drivers have a dry race, 34 laps. Let's see who's going to take that top podium step for the last time at the German Grand Prix. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, looks like these guys are getting ready to go racing. We're going to line up on the formation lap and we'll be away. I cannot wait. Even if I'm by myself on this comms booth, this is going to be an insane race to watch. I'm going to get that away as we load up for the formation lap. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be intense. Going to get rid of that mini-map just because I typically don't use it. I'm going to get the tire situation up, though. I do definitely use that. Anton pulls away for the formation lap. Harrison right behind him. So we have a Ferrari, Mercedes, and McLaren leading the way. If that would be the case in real F1, I would absolutely just be a joy to watch. Renault right there. Coco looks like he's put himself on a naughty step somehow. Looks like Absolute's there. Ruzia, Speedy, Whiffy, reserve this evening for the Haas team. Soap in P12. He is a GP2 driver. Good to see him top 12 though. Also Stig. 13th, Tom. Hubdy's got himself in. Good to see Eagle Sparks. The Seuss is there. And third, Dinner, who was stuck into the other Haas. He is actually a Williams driver, so his points will go to the Williams. Ah, there you are, Daguerre. How are you doing this evening? Good to see you in the chat. We're going to round back up. Anton definitely pulling a Kimi Räikkönen right there. I do love to see that. All right, prediction time. I'm keeping my eye on a couple of these drivers. I'm not going to give any predictions out because I'll probably end up being wrong. But I know these two are going to fight. Enzo's going to fight for the championship. Tomo's in that championship talk. So top four are going to fight, I think. Everybody rounding out. Looks like one of the Haas put himself on a 97. Might have been Whiffy Winner who might have done so. I think that's Whiffy Winner. It is. Just waiting on a couple of the guys around the last final couple corners, and we'll be lights out for this German Grand Prix. Everybody's lining up to the grid. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We have arrived to the moment everybody waits for on race weekend for those 5 red lights to go out. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are lit, and we are away for the German Grand Prix. There we go. Good start by Anton. Coco gets us up. Harrison gets a terrible start. Here we go into turn 1. Everybody keep it clean. Couple key pieces of carbon fiber, but everybody's still facing the right direction, so it's good to see. A couple guys in the background pushing each other. Anton gets a good start. Enzo right there. There is Tomo in P3. Harrison P4. Everybody's going. Oh, there's Absolute. The other Toro Rosso. Oh, there's Coco way off in the corner. What has happened to FTC Coco? I don't know if there was contact made, but he is off the track. The Ferrari is in the back. The other Ferrari still leading the way as Enzo's right behind him. Tomo's right there in that Toro Rosso. Everybody makes it through cleanly. The hairpin seems to be the case. Good to see that. Yeah, lap 1 is always intense. Not sure who might be missing an end play. A couple guys here still have their front wings intact. It looks like SF1 Tom is missing a bit of an end play. So is Ulster Stig. Hubdy, his teammate, just behind him. Looks like he's clean. Looks like Dinner's good. Or that's not Dinner. That is Ego Sparks. My mistake. It looks like Anton is going to lead the first lap of this race. He got an excellent start. Coming around the final corner now. He's going to pick up the first lap in the books. There we have it. Get that Delta back up for you, ladies and gentlemen. A couple guys battling. Looks like Harrison just went a bit wide. A couple guys in the back pitting. SF1 Tom is into the pits. Ulster Stig into the pits. Look at Whiffy thinking about making a move on. Oh, there's a bit of a tag. I'm not sure if that was a tag or not. But it's going to let a couple people through. Tomo's left the session. Tomo, if you can hear me, get yourself back on. Just jump onto my name and jump back into the... I can't, unfortunately, send you an invite from here. I'm going to keep my eyes close on some of the deltas. It looks like Harrison's going to sneak through the ghosting car of Tomo to pick up P3. If he can get the move done. The ghosting cars in SF1 are usually set to a high standard. That way it's not particularly super easy to make up positions on a ghosting car. But Enzo falling a bit behind. We have a yellow sector 1. Not sure who that's for. We have a nice battle here going on between Speedy and Perusia and Absolute as Seuss is catching these guys quickly. Let's jump on board. Oh, Speedy's gone really wide. He's gone off track. He's gone. So that's a bit. Harrison, Thomas joined. That's good to see him get back in. Let's actually ride with Jesus as he's thinking about making a move into the famous turn 1. Got an attack that perfectly done by Jesus. And Jesus think about making a move. Oh, had to lock up heavy. Speedy locked up as well. I think Jesus is going to have a good run here. He's going to go on the outside. Can he get a move done? Both DRS is open for Speedy and Jesus. You can see the two of Aruzia, Mercedes, and Absolute battling out just ahead. Are these both going to go into the corner side by side? There we have it. Aruzia holds on to that P7. As Harrison, I can see the Delta is closing the gap between himself and the McLaren driver, Enzo, just ahead. A lot of Sector 1 yellows. What has happened? Is Coco going off? Hubdy is there. Stig. Is that SF1 Tom? Soap. I wonder what happened to Soap. Not sure. But Attic makes his way through the ghosting car of Tomo. Tomo's got to jump back in. He's gotten back into his car. Good to see. Pups back in. He goes from 3rd to 6th. Unfortunately, in that ghosting situation. Good to see he get himself back in, though. Can Harrison get himself closer to Enzo? A lot of Sector 1 yellows. We are in lap 4. Good to see everybody still in this race. A couple of these guys on the soft compounds are going to have to dive to the pits a little, or actually a lot sooner than the medium compounds, as Jesus gets around Absolute side by side. Jesus, Absolute all over the gearbox of that racing point. Can he make a move done on Jesus? He's going to hold back behind him. They're catching Aruzia really quickly. They're going to go for a 3-wide move. No, Jesus backs out of it. Oh, Absolute sends the car just a bit deep. There's a bit of contact made. There's more contact made, wheel to wheel. Whiffy gets a 3-second time penalty. Just keeping my eye on. Coco's already a lap down. These guys already a lap down. That is interesting to see. So a couple of those guys definitely hoping for a safety car. So Harrison's gotten closer to Enzo, but he has those Renaults behind him catching quickly. This is going to be a battle as Tomo's caught up to the Renaults as well. But keeping on board with this battle with Jesus, he does get around, pulls the gap between himself and Absolute just a bit. Jesus now working on Aruzia. I experienced Aruzia 3-second time penalty for extending on turn 1, which it will catch you out quickly. Sector 1 yellow. I think that those are definitely fake yellows. I think we have one of those yellow glitches, but Jesus should have DRS now. Can we go? Here goes Jesus. He's a clean run on Aruzia. He's going to go for the inside as Benny and Attic swap positions. Jesus on his way through. Will Aruzia have a good run here at SF1 Tom gets a 3-second time penalty. It looks like Aruzia's going to hold it to P8. Jesus up to P7. Absolute just behind. A couple of the gaps at the back. Aruzia now sandwiched between that racing point. Let's look. Tomo is now caught up to the back of that. He's split the Renault drivers, actually. He's past Benny, and now he's going to go for Attic. As Harrison just behind Enzo. 5/10 is the gap. Can he get himself a little closer? Enzo doing what he has to make that gap and keep it to be in P2. Anton's setting lap after lap, faster and faster as he goes. Harrison through, extends just a bit, but gets a good run. How about Tomo and these Renaults? They are closely catching Harrison. 2 seconds is the gap. Speedy gets a 3-second time penalty. We're going to ride with Tomo as we go through on this backstretch. Is he close enough to have a move? He's going to go to the outside. Attic's going to hold to the inside. Tomo's going to think about a switch around. There is a bit of contact to the gearbox, but no damage, no foul done. Jesus, or actually Absolute and Aruzia. A bit of contact, our little shoulders out, definitely. See Williams of Ego and Coco back there fighting for position. Dinner is starting to collect those guys' time. So Hub D now, Stig there, Sector 2 yellow, keep my eye on whatever that might be. Aruzia is just behind Absolute. I wonder if this is a bit of argy-bargy. Here we are. Arusi is trying to hold on to the back as third dinner has gotten around Coco. Coco has gone off. No, Coco has not gone off. And Attic gets a 3-second time penalty. That turn 1 will catch you out. The third dinner gets around Speedy. Speedy pulls into the pits to switch onto the medium compound. Speedy's in that Red Bull is going to go for the 2-stop strategy as Tomo is going to try to go around and make the same move as he did last lap. He's going to make for a switchback move this time. He's going to think about it. Attic's going to hold on to the outside. Are they going to go side by side in the kink we saw on GP2 on Friday? And it's not always the best move. Side by side, super close. Attic's going to hold on to the positions. A little bit of contact made. Attic's going to hold. These two are having one heck of a battle. Side by side, still through that whole sector of that track. And Tomo makes his way through just to get himself back up to P4. Harrison not too far off. Harrison's lost a little bit as Attic picks the car just a bit, letting Tomo know he's not going to back off. He's going to hold on to these guys. But this is helping Benny get closer again. And we see Aruzia and Absolute still close together on track. But let's see if Attic can get himself closer to Tomo. I haven't seen too many time penalties yet on this track, especially from turn 1. I saw a couple. We'll see how that goes. They might start collecting a little bit more as this race carries on. Then the laps tick down. Attic within DRS range. Just there you go. Third dinner collects one, probably from turn 1. It looks like the Renaults are going to battle each other just a bit here. Benny is thinking about it. No, he's going to back off. Is anybody super close? Aruzia Absolute here again for the second time. Side by side, they're going to go. We're going to stick on board with Aruzia Absolute just there. He's going to back right behind Aruzia. A bit of a love tap to the gearbox of Aruzia Absolute holding just behind him. I see SF1 Tom, the two Red Bulls here battling it out. Can SF1 Tom get a run? He's thinking about it. Speedy's going to hold him off. These guys got to be careful. This is Speedy's team, so SF1 Tom, being a guest this evening, driving for that Red Bull team. I know SF1 Tom stuck on the wrong setup. But keeping my eye on some of the other deltas. Harrison's backed off just a bit. Benny and Attic still close together on track. These two right now are the closest on track, so we're going to keep our eye on this battle between them. Absolute trying to get a good run onto this backstretch where DRS will be open right now. Also say gets a 3-second time penalty. As Aruzia is going back and forth, Absolute's going to ping to the outside. Here we go. That might have been just a bit dangerous. Absolute is on his way through. Can he make the braking zone or locks up just a bit? Aruzia now is in P9. Absolute makes his way through. Here we go. Aruzia's thinking about making another move. Thought about it. Ooh, Absolute gets the back end just a bit loose. So Aruzia had to check up. Good thing he did. No contact was made. No damage done. However, this is letting Ego, close the gap between as Anton sets another fast lap before the race. Top gaps are 2.6. Anton leads Enzo, then McLaren. Harrison is behind Enzo by 1.2 seconds. Benny gets a 3-second time penalty. Tomo sitting P4, 2 seconds behind Harrison. Attic is closing on Tomo. Can he get a little bit closer? It looks like Absolute's starting to peel the gap between himself and Aruzia just a bit. He's at the closest. We see Attic right behind. He has the DRS. He's going to pull just behind Tomo through the hairpin. Gets a little bit of a wide run out of that exit. It also stays gone through SF1 Tom being in the pits. And he's going to serve a 5-second stop go, I think. Or is he retired from the session? He has retired. He's left the session. So his car is now going to be ghosting. So that's going to allow Hubdy through. As Aruzia and Absolute yet again going after it side by side. A bit of contact. sending Aruzia wide. This is gonna get hectic side by side. This is a bit of contact again. These two have their shoulders out this evening. Oh, that's allowed Ego just to collect this time, and he's gonna be in this conversation just a bit. But where's Ego? Ego's 1.1. Is that gonna get closer? Ego, can he get himself within DRS range of these two? SF1 Tom is joined. I wonder if he had a disconnection. Finding himself in P18 after that disconnection. Sector 3 yellows after Whiffy and Ulsterstig. Ulsterstig must have gone off. I think his tires. Yeah, he must have spun the car just a bit. Here we go for a third time. Here's Aruzia and Absolute. That has helped Ego collect the time. He's just there now. Little bit of contact made again. And where's Ego? Ego is 1.2 seconds. Soap gets a 3-second time penalty. Heavy contact on the wheels there. Absolute and Aruzia. This has helped Ego. Ego's just behind now. Let's ride on board with Ego. Ego's going to think about making a move on Aruzia. That is a dangerous place to do it. It gives him the room, though. Definitely room given. That is clear to see. Very respectful from Ego. He's trying to hold on to that position. I think I would just back out. He does. Perfect from Ego. Ego's Lessus gets a 3-second time penalty. But these two are now going to battle. Absolute, that's just ahead. Both have DRS. They're going to collect Absolute really quickly. With his Attic is caught up to Tomo just now. Can Attic get a move done on Tomo? He's going to have DRS. He's going to go for the outside. Tomo's going to hold for the inside. These two have seen each other on track. Harrison's just ahead of him as well. Attic gets a bad run. Gets the cat back just a little out of shape. Ego now. Let's ride on board. Here's Aruzia and Absolute. Into the hairpin we go. There's a bit of contact. Is Ego going to think about making a switch back on both of them? Ulsterstig gets a 3-second time penalty. These guys' shoulders. P8 is on. P8 is definitely on a battle streak right now. While these guys battle here, I'm going to jump up to this battle. Attic working on Tomo. Harrison's 1.9 seconds. Harrison's going to die from an early pit. So is Tomo. That's going to leave Attic with a open track. Is Benny going to pit? No, he's not going to pit just yet. So that begs the question, when is Anton and Enzo going to pit? I know those two leading this pack are going to be able to maintain their tires a little bit better. But still, speaking of pit, now Ego has fallen back again without a DRS range. Where's Tomo coming out now? There's Tomo just behind Aruzia. Absolute caught up to his teammate. Can these two tours work together? Can Tomo make a move on Aruzia? Has to go around. Tomo on his way through speed. He gets a 3-second time penalty. How about Absolute? Where is he at in contrast? These guys really close now together. Gaps are pretty close. You can say that. No safety car as of yet. No virtual safety car either. So a bit of contact here and there, but it's been relatively clear racing. A couple of guys do have their shoulders out though, so we'll have to make sure we keep an eye on that. Looking at the deltas, this is pretty much the closest battle. Absolute following Aruzia. Tomo's made his way through. He's got Harrison just ahead. Attic gets a 3-second time penalty. Where is Attic? Lessus is pulled into the pits. Top guys yet to pit in this race. Anton there on the track, still leading. Lessus pulls into the pits. Aruzia pulls into the pits. Ego pulls into the pits. All probably going to slap on that hard compound and take those tires to the end. Unless there's something that happens that is unfortunate towards the end that these guys can maybe possibly pull into the pits and put on a soft compound under a safety car situation. A couple guys working on the hard compounds. That has helped them get further up. Dinner's made his way up to P9 now, starting at the back of the pack. Yellow Sector 3. Who might be that? Not sure who that's for. Safety car, ladies and gentlemen. We do have a safety car. Just as I was speaking, Whiffy has retired from the race. That is unfortunate. In Sector 3, not sure what happened there. But Anton pulls in the pits. This is basically a free pit stop for him. Puts on those hard comms, passes, take him to the end. Enzo almost. Oh, I thought Enzo pitted already. Enzo's going to take those hard compounds to the end. Addict's gone to the hard compounds. The Benny stayed out. He didn't want to bunch up in the pits, so he's going to let Addict have that pit stop. As both Harrison and Tomo now racing towards the back end of that safety car. Let's see if Benny's collected the safety car. He has. A couple of these guys. This will help a couple of these guys get back into the race, such as SF1 Tom, Humpty. What has happened? Eruzia stayed out. Third Dinner's pulled into the pits. Absolute's gone for a new front wing and has put on the hard compounds to take him to the end. Looks like Dinner's in for the hard compounds to take him to the end. Speedy's gone for a medium compound to the end. This would be an interesting call. He has served his pit stops. Stig's in, has Hubdy coming in. Hubdy's coming in, so Stig should be on his way out. SF1 Tom's going to work his way through. There is Hubdy. Coco's on his way out. Soap is on his way out. Hubdy coming to serve. Started on those hard. He's going to go to medium compound to the end as well. So he should have a good set of pace to go to the end. Oh yeah, I've been talking so much. How you guys doing in the chat, ladies and gentlemen? How are you guys? What do you think is the biggest talking point so far in this race? I think it's got to be the battle between Eruzia and Absolute. That is an absolute barnstormer. As you can see, Benny's going to pull into the pits. Careful not to speed into that pit lane, Benny did. On his way to the pits now. He's going to put the hard compound on and take those tires to the end. I wonder how long it will take for some of these guys to collect the back of a safety car. Third Dinner is going to make his way through. Benny's on his way out. Dinner's just now coming across turn 1. There's Speedy. Me as well. Me as well, Constantine. So a lot of these guys are going to take these hard compounds to the end. I wonder if those mediums are going to last until the end for Coco, Soap, Hubdy, and Speedy. We shall see. They have about 20 laps to make those tires last. Just about 18 to be honest. Depends on when the safety car goes off. A couple of these guys trying to really warm these tires as much as they can, as the hard compound are a tricky tire to get the temperatures locked in, though this being a hot track with the sun out shouldn't take them too long. But however, behind a safety car it might take a little bit longer. So right now, giving a rundown, Harrison is in third position, Enzo in second, and Anton is leading this way. Can Anton convert a pole position into a race win this weekend? I believe he has the fastest lap as well, so could be a triple for him. Everybody's pretty much collected the back of the pack. We have a couple guys. Yeah, okay. So everybody just except for the likes of Hubdy. And also Stig's going to die for the pits again. I wonder if he's going to go for the medium compound. Let's ride with him and see what he does here. So the medium compound is going to be the choice of also Stig to see what he can do here. He's going to join just behind his teammate Hubdy. They're guys are going to tackle this race with medium compounds. There's a lot of the guys ahead of them from P1 the whole way down to P11 are on the hard compound. So let's see if those mediums do anything for him at the end of this race. Safety car should be in just about this lap, as Stig should catch the back of this cube in just a bit. Yeah, you can see the cube just ahead of him. All right, there we have it. Also, Stig has collected the back of the pack. Safety car should be in this time around. Can Enzo get a good run on Anton? Can Harrison get a good run on Enzo? We shall find out in a couple corners' time. Can Tomo get a good run on these guys? Addict right there has been battling Tomo. Lessus has made his way up to 6th. So can he get himself further up this grid? We've seen him, tackle. He's gotten really far. He came 2nd in the Monaco Grand Prix a couple races times, just by keeping it clean, getting himself through the pack. All those guys warming their tires. A couple guys being very cautious not to run into the back of the other guys, chipping off a bit of their end plate. Safety car just ahead. You can see pulling into the pits. Let's actually ride on board with Tomo. There goes Anton. Anton's away. Enzo's away. Harrison is away. Can Tomo get a good run? It looks to be about equal terms. Anton got a great run. Into turn 1 we go with cold, hard tires. Everybody makes it just about. Oh, we have a battle on our hands. Let's see if Lessus can get further up this pack. Absolutely P9. Battling Ego Sparks. Can he make a move down on Ego Sparks? He's going to go to the outside. Ego's going to allow him to have the outside line. Into the hairpin they go. Side. No, they've backed out of the side-by-side action, so they're just going to follow through in single file up to the kink. What has happened to Coco? Carusi gets a 3-second time penalty. Coco is off. No damage to his front wing to report, though, so he should be good to go to the end. It's a lot Hubdy up through. SF1 Tom's there. Stig has gotten himself up to P14. Goes a bit wide on the track. Has Soap just ahead of him. But right now, Lessus now just behind Addict. As Enzo has held on to Anton. Can he hold on? Tomo's gotten himself up to P3. Anton sets another fast lap on hard compounds. 1:14.6. As we see, Harrison gets a 3-second time penalty. That might be big towards the end of this race. We shall wait and see. These guys on lap 19 out of 34. It's just a good camera angle. This is one of the best tracks. I can't help it. Sector 1 and 2 yellow. Not sure what that might be for. It might be Absolute. Might be Benny. But argy-bargy into the hairpin. Side by side, they're going to touch wheels again. They're going to go side by side into the kink. They are, but as Benny's going to hold on to the position as much as he can. Both lock up just a bit. Benny puts his shoulders out a bit wide. Absolute's going to file just behind him. Benny's up to P9. Sparks there in P8, holding onto the back of Aruzia. Lessus catching up to Addict. Harrison holding onto the back of Tomo. Tomo's actually caught Enzo. Enzo must have had a moment, but he's actually lost a little bit of ground between himself and Anton. 1.6 seconds now. Tomo is caught up to him. Can Tomo have a run on him? Tomo does not have DRS though, unless it's broken. Unless he's having a DRS malfunction. As you see a couple guys now, a lot of guys getting a 3-second time penalty. As I mentioned earlier in the stream, time penalties are going to be huge at the end. So Tomo, we can let you know, does not have a problem with his DRS. He's gotten, is he going to have a run on Enzo? Pulls to the outside. Enzo is going to fight him in side by side. They're going to go. It looks like Enzo's covered off the inside of that track. Tomo's going to file just behind him as he has Addict just behind Harrison. A lot of these guys back here, really close. We have a battle between Benny and Ego. Tomo, what has happened to Tomo? There's been a moment, I'm not sure if there was contact. Lessus has made his way through. Addict has made his way through. Lessus now has Tomo just behind him. Yeah, this is getting a bit hairy. I'm keeping my eye out on those medium compound runners, though, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how much life those tires are going to have left in them come lap 30 or lap 32. as Ego goes really wide. Tomo did a bit too. Look at this. Absolute has a good run. And so does Dinner. Dinner's thinking about having a run on Speedy. Let's actually jump on board with Dinner. Coming down this backstretch, DRS will be open for all of these drivers just ahead. Absolute now thinking about making a move on Ego. Are they going to send it 3 wide? That's going to be dangerous. 3 wide, they're going to go into the hairpin. Benny's got to check up. There's a bit of contact with the Haas and Benny. Benny's going to have a good run here. 3 wide into the hair cake here. Benny's going to hold on to it. Benny gets back. Gets the position back. Ego's going to send it though. Oh, this is getting a bit hairy. Absolute gets his end plate chipped off. This is getting... shoulders are out. Oh, Absolute's made a bit of contact with Dinner in the back. Oh, Absolute's made big contact with Speedy. That's going to allow Soap on his way through. Speedy's going to have to back out. I have a lovely aerial footage camera of this, and this is getting crazy. Soap's going to have a run on him. And Stig's now going to have a run on him. Stig's just behind Soap. This is getting feisty. Coco gets a 3-second time penalty. I'm telling you, that turn 1 will catch you out if you attack it too much. Soap's going to have a brilliant run on Absolute. Absolute has a bit of damage after that battle with a couple of the cars ahead of him. Here comes Soap and Absolute. Soap and Absolute going to go side by side into the hairpin. Soap locks up heavy, collects the side of Absolute. This is getting a bit crazy. Calm down, guys. You guys still have about 10 to 12 laps remaining. You got to keep this car intact. Bring that car home, as in SF1 we do have. Oh, what is going on, Maverick? Good to see you here. Alright, Ego Sparks now collecting the back of Benny. Can he get closer as Tomo is working on the back of Harrison? Harrison's not too far off of RLI. Can he get close? Harrison's going to have DRS. These two have battled before last season. Pretty much all season. Enzo has fallen 3.2 seconds off of Anton. Anton's just pushing it. Lasus gets a 3-second time penalty. Harrison gets a little bit closer to Attic. Can he get any closer on this backstretch with DRS? Let's actually jump on board with Harrison. Can he get a good run out of that corner? DRS is open. Whippy had a bit of contact, I believe. Here we go. Harrison's going to pull to the outside. Attic's going to hold to the inside. Double side into the... Oh, I think Attic went a bit deep. Oh, Tomo's going to think about making a move. No, he backed out of it. So here we go. Harrison trying to hold on. He does have Attic just next to him. Ooh, bit of contact. No, contact wasn't made. Attic gets a 3-second time penalty there from his battle there with Harrison. Ooh, what has happened to Attic? I think he's lost the end of his car side by side. Oh, this is getting crazy. Attic gets a bit of the kitty litter into the stadium section. We are running. Lasus has caught these guys mega fast. Keeping my eye on the battle between Ego Sparks and Benny too. Is Ego catching closer? Can Lasus have a good run at these guys? Ego's backed off just a bit. Attic's getting his car. I think Attic's really starting to fight his car just a bit. Temperatures in those hard compounds can fluctuate. I wonder if he's running them just a bit hot. As Lasus is going to have a good run here on Attic. Is Tomo going to have a good run on Harrison? They are. Oh, this is getting crazy. We're going to jump on board with Lasus. You can see Tomo and Harrison side by side into the hairpin. Lasus makes a dive on Attic. Attic's going to hold to the outside. Attic lost a trip back into that car again. And that's going to help Marussia get closer. Benny has a train of cars behind him. Ego Sparks. He has Dinner behind him. He has Soap behind him. And Stig is Stig might enter this conversation in just a moment's time. Tomo trying everything he can to get around Harrison. Zeus has caught up to these guys. Jump on board. Attic holding on as best as he can. Marussia is going to collect him. Marussia is having one heck of a race this evening. He has TRS. He might find himself in contention for a top 6 this evening. Sector 3 yellow, keeping my eye on. Prix gets himself a 3-second time penalty. That is definitely what you call a commentator's curse. I do apologize, Russia. Lassus now on Harrison. No, Tomo on Harrison. Lassus not too far behind. Let's run on forward with Lassus. Can he get a double overtake? He's going to think about it. He's going to have a run on Tomo as well. He's going to pitch the car. No, he thinks better of it. Stays behind. Harrison's now going to fall. A bit of contact. Attic's going to have a look at Harrison. Two Mercedes might have to work together to come back, as Harrison's holding on to that inside line as best as he can. These two battled there for it. Oh, Harrison puts his shoulders out. He wants to hold on as best he can. Falling to P5 so far. Russia now has Attic just ahead of him. Lap 25 out of 34. So we have just about 8 laps remaining in this race. How is Anton staying quiet? He's literally just holding on to this lead. He's doing everything he can. He might have a nice triple this evening. Enzo holding on to P2 quietly. Tomo up to P3. Lassus now catching Tomo. Sector 3 yellow. What has happened to Hubdy? Let's jump down. Hubdy, I think, went off track. No damage done. No virtual safety cars. Sparks gets a 3-second time penalty. Let's see. Still, this battle persists with Lassus, Tomo, Harrison trying to collect him. Attic has DRS. Where's Russia in this matter? He's fallen off just a bit. Tomo and Lassus back and forth again. Bit of a battle into the hairpin. They're going to go side by side into the kink on the right. Looks like Attic's gotten around Harrison. Looks like Lassus is going to hold on to this position if he can attack cleanly. Tomo gets a better run. Lassus is going to tuck just behind him. Lassus trying what he can do to get around. And Harrison and Russia has now collected these two. These guys in the top. Sparks is behind Benny trying to collect them. Soap, let's jump on board with Soap, as he is battling Dinner right now for P10. Gonna get a good run on Dinner here and have DRS and make a move. Lassus gets a 3-second time penalty. Might play a major factor at the end of this race. Also Stick trying what he can do to get himself closer to Soap. Dinner, however, is starting to collect the back of Ego. And here we go again. Harrison now has DRS on Dinner. Let's jump on board. Or not Dinner, Attic. My apologies. Side by side into the hairpin. Lassus and Tomo go. Send a bit wide. But it looks like Harrison now. Oh, this is getting a bit intense. Harrison's going to go wide, try to pitch the car in the inside for this next turn on the left. Gets his shoulders out again. That's going to allow Russia on his way through. SF1 Tom sets the fastest lap of the race. SF1 Tom reserving for that Red Bull this evening. Sets a fast lap. A GP2 driver sets a GP1 time. So Russia now behind. Lassus just behind. Lassus is now missing an end plate from Tomo, I think. Contact with that Toro Rosso. Anton gets a 3-second time penalty, so if Enzo can get himself closer, he might have a shot at the win this evening. He has to start pushing. He's got about 6 laps remaining of this race. Lap 28 out of 34. Those laps are clicking down. Also Stick gets a 3-second time penalty. Dinner still behind. Soap's made his way through Dinner. And Hubdy's pulled into the pits. I wonder if he's going to set the soft compound on and have a go for the last few laps to try to get a run. Russia and Dinner here into the hairpin. Russia's thinking about a switchback. No, a bit of contact made in the gearbox. No damage done. Russia loses the back end. I think those hard compounds are like ice right now for some reason. The track might be super hot and these tires might be overheating just a bit. Enzo has lost a lot more time to Anton at the top. 6.2 seconds now is the gap, as Lassus is starting to claw in Tomo. Sector 2 and 3 yellow. Not sure who that might be for. Attic is right behind Harrison, but Russia is just behind. What about Ego and Benny? How are these guys doing? And Dinner is still holding on to the back of Soap. And Coco locks up a bit. He's running behind Alistair Stig in that Alfa Romeo. Ego gets a 3-second time penalty. Let's ride on board with Coco for a bit. Let's give him a bit of screen time as he's trying to claw in Alistair Stig. Absolute gets a 3-second time penalty. He's running right now. P14. I think he pitted just a bit. Coco's gotten a good run on Alistair Stig. Can he do it with DRS alone? Is he going to send the car into the hairpin? No, thinks better of it and backs out. Oh, Stig has run wide though, so that's going to allow Coco to have a good run past him anyways. Dinner's just behind Soap still. Aruzia behind Addict. Harrison, a couple of the guys ahead of him are just a bit off time, so this is the closest battle. And I have that lovely aerial camera finally. So we're going to stick with that. Can Aruzia get himself closer? As you can see, Dinner is starting to pull, or not Dinner, Attic is starting to pull a bit more of a gap, though Aruzia has a good final run through. On the straight, turn 1, easy to extend, doesn't do so, both DRSs activated. Can he get closer? Third Dinner gets a 3-second time penalty. Those time penalties are starting to pile up. Lap 30 out at 34. Also Stig behind Coco. Can he get a run on Coco this time around? DRS should be open. Speedy gets a 3-second time penalty. Can Alistair Stig get a run on Coco? He's going to switch to the outside, which will be the inside actually. Coco backs out, gives him the room. Coco locks up heavily, but he might have a switchback here. Oh, it loses the back end of the car, so he's going to tuck it behind Alistair Stig. No, they're going to go side by side into that corner. Alistair Stig holding on to the inside. It should be, goes a bit deep, but it looks like Coco's going to back off and just hold behind him. Aruzia with Attic, Harrison. These guys all super close. Harrison has actually caught up to the back end of the Seuss. Can Harrison get around the Seuss for P4? DRS is now open for Harrison, and that Mercedes, don't think about it in turn 1. That is not a place you want to pass. Attic gets a 3-second time penalty for his troubles. That is that infamous turn 1, I'm telling you. Attic will have DRS though, and an aid to help him battle Harrison and Lassus just ahead. Can he get through? He's a bit behind. Can Harrison make his way through Lassus? Lassus pulls to the inside, back to the racing line. Harrison had to go check a bit deep. Gets a good run anyhow. Ego's not too far off these guys. Hubdy gets a 3-second time penalty, trying to extend and get the fastest lap, I'm sure. Can Harrison get around for his championship hopes? Get those points in. Because right now Enzo just behind him. He's in P2. Anton is making his way up that table quickly. He is in P1. This is going to get intense. I'm seeing Soap with Dinner as well. Just behind that Haas of third Dinner. Dinner actually driving a Williams. He joined the lobby late, so it's stuck in that Haas. Lap 32. And Soap get closer. Coco still battling Ulster Stig here at P13 for 12. Jumping through. SF1 Tom in P17. Hubdy P16. Anybody super close? Here we go. Harrison's going to battle Seuss again. He's going to have a run on him. Absolute gets a 3-second time penalty. Lassus makes up for a late dive. Attic thought about it as well. Pitches the car in. It makes a stick. Can Attic hold on to this position? That was brave by Attic, but he does so. Lassus backs out of it. So now Harrison up to P4. Attic up to P5. Lassus now P6. And Aruzia have a look. He has Benny right behind him. Benny is no slouch. Benny is going to collect these guys, I feel, pretty quickly. It's actually right on board with Ego as we go into the stadium section. You can see a couple of these positions up for grabs, all the way up from Harrison, P4. So all the way from P9 to P4, battling it out the last 2 laps of this race. Then he gets a little bit wide on that curve. DRS open for Sparks onto the penultimate lap of this German Grand Prix. And my voice is getting shot. Sparks as well to hold on to the back end of that car, though. Oh, these guys are going to have one final go at it until the final lap. Also, Sig gets a 3-second time penalty. Will Benny have a good run? Will Ruzia get a good run? Sparks, can he have a good run? Attic thinking about making a move on Harrison side by side into the hairpin. Will they stay positioned? No, Harrison holds on to position. Masseuse right there. Ruzia. Benny gets around Ego Sparks. Let's look quickly at the biggest movers of the day. Right now, Lassus has made up 11 positions as well as Ego Sparks makes up 7 positions as well as Dinner. Lassus right now being driver of the day candidate. Possibly, we shall see pit stops. A couple guys have made. Soap's made 2. Coco's made 2. Also Sig has made 3 pit stops. How about we'll keep it on board with the tires. So right now, Lassus is making up the biggest moves of the day. Good shout for an early candidate of the day. On to the final lap of this German Grand Prix. Final lap of the German Grand Prix on this game. Attic gets a 3-second time penalty. Who is going to pick up that top podium? Is it going to be Anton? He looks pretty clear. Enzo right there in P2. He does have Tomo catching him ever so slightly. Harrison has Attic just behind him. Will they battle it out into that hairpin again? And Lassus has a bunch of guys going, whoa, what was that move from Attic? Thought about making a switchback. Into the hairpin they go. Attic pulls into the pit. Whoa, Attic got a bad run, and Benny's off. Benny's off. That's going to allow Soap to have a look here. Ego Sparks makes his way through. SF1 Tom's retired from the race on the final lap. Here we go. Attic's just behind. Harrison's got a slew of cars behind him. However, we got to jump for this man right now, who is going to cross the line in P1 for the German Grand Prix. He's going to finish it home. Enzo is going to cross the line in P2. And he has Tomo just behind. Enzo crosses the line P2. Tomo stays P3. Will Harrison stay P4? I know penalties are going to come into play heavy. Now, guys, watch those guys bounce positions. Harrison and Eruzio gets P5. Lassus P6. Attic drops down to P8. Benny actually P7. Attic drops down to P11. So P8. Dinner P9. Sparks P10. That is crazy. Stick Pate. Jason Pate. Absolute is going to cross the line P14. And then we're going to jump down with Speedy doing what he could to get a couple points this evening for his Red Bull team. P15 and Hubdy crosses the line P16. Goes P15 off the time penalties. God damn, my voice is shot. I'll let you guys enjoy this podium celebration. Give you guys a rundown, and then we'll give you guys the podium interview. All right, we're going to give you guys a quick rundown of the final standing orders. I appreciate that, Maverick. I really do. Here we are. Nobody cares about the XP, but here we are. Anton picks up the win at the German Grand Prix, followed by Enzo in P2. Tomo rounds out your podium this evening in P3. Going down the rest of the order, we have Harrison. We have Aruzia. Really, really solid race by the Mercedes duo. Lassus. We have Benny, Soap, P8. Dinner, P9. Ego Sparks, P10, Coco, P11, Attic, P12, Ulcer Stick, P13, Absolute, P14, Hubdy, P15, Speedy, P16, and unfortunately we've lost out SF1 Tom and Whiffy Winner. With that, we're going to jump into the podium interviews. I have to get these guys in, so bear with me. It was Anton, it was Enzo, and it was Tomo, so I have to do this myself. Let me go to recently played with. So, Anton, get him in. Invite to party. Get Enzo if he joins, if he wants to join. Invite to party. And Tomo. Invite to party. See if any of these guys want to join quick. Just give me 1 second. You have Tomo here. See if the other guys join quick. All right, we do have Anton as well. All right, so we're gonna give it a good start here. My voice is absolutely shot, you guys, so this is gonna be short and simple and quick. But Tomo, P3, solid race for yourself this evening. One heck of a battle between yourself, Attic, Harrison, Lassus at times throughout that race. Just talk us through that chaotic race, because that was absolutely a barnstormer of a race.
Disappointed with what happened after the connection disconnected. My game crashed, so that sort of chucked me off focus, and then I made contact with Enzo, but I was very happy with the battling with Addict and Harrison. I sort of showed I had it, but I just couldn't string it all together for the whole race. So it's P3, which I'm happy with, but actually overall I'm quite disappointed. I think I could have been a little bit higher up, but oh well. Next race is France, and that is a good track, so
you're definitely catching Enzo towards the end of that race. I was wondering if you were going to have enough time, because a couple of the laps just ticked down too much that I think you were within like 1.4 seconds on the final lap. I was like, can he get him? Can he get him? But I mean, still a good job, especially like you mentioned with the disconnect, falling down the 6th and then having a good comeback race to get yourself up to P3. So that is definitely a good, solid shout for P3 in the podium.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna move on to our race winner. This man set pole position. I was actually interested in your qualifying in Q2, Anton, with the medium compounds, only going, I think it was like 4th quickest. But however, when Q3 came on and then the race came on, you did what you always do. You put the throttle down and controlled the race. So give us a rundown of your race.
Sorry, same issue than last week with my mic. So in Q2 I was pretty shit, to be honest. I missed my 2 runs, and that was enough for Q3. But still it was pretty poor. And in Q3 as well, I bottled my 2 last runs, so that was pretty close between Enzo and myself, and Harrison as well. So that was pretty close. And then after in the race, I had pretty good pace on hard after the safety car. So I'm pretty hungry, to be honest, about Tom, because he's a favorite driver, and I can still have the title, you know, and he's stealing the fastest lap. So I was pretty hungry at the moment, but let's see what's gonna I don't know. I'm hungry, so on to next week.
Exactly. On to next week, the final race of this short season, your home Grand Prix as well, Anton. So we're gonna wish you guys luck.
That I don't like.
Yeah. Title track possibly.
Enzo is here.
Enzo is here, is he? All right, so we're gonna give him a good shout. Enzo, let's talk to your race. Kept yourself quiet.
I will translate for him.
All right, right into the whole race, kept yourself in a solid P2 position. You brought it home, you made it count at the end. I know you're battling Harrison for that championship, as well as Anton is, and you guys both finished ahead of him this evening. So congratulations on your P2. Just give us a rundown of your race.
Thank you, bro. Yeah,
T'as compris ou...
Ouais, j'ai compris.
Okay.
The qualifying was good for me. Good lap on Q3, but on the race I was not fast with on the tires. But I am P2 and it's a good result for me. And I'm happy to to battle with Harrison, same last season, so it's good. And in French, I won the title, and I really have it.
No, but good. Congratulations to all three of you guys. I hope you guys' luck carries over into next week. We could possibly be talking to you guys next week for your home Grand Prix on that podium. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to send it off. Thank you so much for tuning in this evening. Be sure to catch the final race of the short season next week. Same time, same channel at the French Grand Prix. Until then, we're going to send off. Wish everybody a good week. Hopefully, you guys have a happy and enjoyable week. Until then, we are going to say good night and see you next week.